Our top story from the day, former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried agreeing to be extradited back to the United States. The New York Times reporting that Bankman-Fried could arrive in New York as early as this afternoon. Once in New York, he will be arraigned in federal district court in Manhattan, though the exact timing of the proceeding remains unclear. Shedding some light for us is CoinDesk's regulatory reporter, Cheyenne Ligon. Cheyenne, great to have you on the show. So what exactly happened in court today? We know that he appeared on Monday. It was very confusing. It was a waste of time, according to the judge. So did they get their act together today?
That's certainly what it seems like. It seems like today was sort of a do-over of what happened on Monday, which the judge in the Bahamas kind of dismissed as premature, I think were his words. So they had a day on Tuesday to kind of get everything together. And then today, his judge told the court that he was anxious to leave the Bahamas and that he was waiving his extradition proceedings. So he is going to be headed to New York as early as today.
So the New York Times saying that he could be in New York as early as this afternoon. Is that realistic? What's the time frame? Is he back?
Yeah, I mean, we don't think he's back yet, but there's a lot that we don't know. It's really a pretty short flight. It's about 3.5 hours from Nassau to New York. So, it's totally possible that he could be back as early as today. And then once he is back, he'll have to be arraigned in front of a judge in New York. And then after that, we just don't know. I mean, is he going to be out on bail? That's unclear. That's usually part of the arraignment proceedings. We don't know where he'll be held, maybe MDC. Yeah, we just don't know. But he is headed back to New York.
Is there any sense, or because I did see some reports, I thought that he would not want to go to the MDC. He would rather do some sort of home detention. Any news on that in terms of next steps?
I mean, I'm sure most people in MDC would rather be at home on home detention. It's not a great place to be, but that's ultimately up to a judge. I'm sure that he will ask for bail. He asked for bail in the Bahamas. And because none of his crimes are violent, that's definitely something that could possibly happen. I think it's up to a judge to determine whether he's a flight risk. And, if I had to guess, I would guess that U.S. prosecutors will tell the judge that they believe that he is a flight risk. But, we'll just have to see.
Yep, whether or not he's a flight risk or a danger to society. All right, Cheyenne, thanks so much for joining us. That was CoinDesk's regulatory reporter, Cheyenne Ligon. In other news, Core Scientific, one of the largest Bitcoin miners by computing power, filed for bankruptcy protection and reached a deal with some of its lenders to restructure its debt. It has around 1,000 to 5,000 creditors, with the largest unsecured claim coming from investment bank B. Riley. Core Scientific accounts for about 10% of computing power on the Bitcoin network. And checking in with the Craig Wright versus Peter McCormack trial, a UK judge ruling that McCormack should pay around $1.1 million in costs following their court case. The two men's legal battle emanated from a 2019 discussion subsequently broadcast on YouTube, in which McCormack called Wright a liar and a fraud and said he is, quote, not Satoshi.